Hello, my name is Adrián Martínez. I am an industrial design student. For my personal project, I choose to create a series of scenes that narrate a sequence of the play The Room by Harold Pinter. I will describe myself based on the characters created by Pinter, but my narrative takes Bert as a protagonist, explaining his stranger relationship with his drug, and perhaps with a little bit unexpected outcome. So let's begin. I present to you
The room looks much colder now. A silence remains. The night slowly advanced. Riley's body remains on the frozen ground. The stove is still in blood. Bert looks in a nearby closet with eagerness. Rose remains sitting on the floor of the door with a lost look. She doesn't cry, but in her face, you can see that something inside her has changed. It is now the same scandalous woman. Bert finally gets what he was looking for in the closet. A long grey robe. He approaches to Riley's body and begins to grab him in it. Rose, with a lost look, seems not realize the event. Bert manages to grab the body with the rope. Bert begins to draw the body by his feet, heading towards the door. He stops for a moment in front of Rose, and he says, "I'll go with her again now. She'll take care of me. Take me alright, and I'll take care of her." Rose doesn't react to this. She continues in shock. Bert opens the door, throwing the body without much effort by the feet, down the stairs without carrying the sounds of the bloods of the head of Riley's against the steps. Bert secures his coat and drags the body toward his truck. Bert stops at the door and begins to say to his truck, "I took care of her. I took care of him. I took care of everyone." Bert puts the body in the truck without much effort. Then he cleans the truck and then turns on by singing a fragment of the song The Parting Glass. From all the money I had. The truck starts to make his way. Bert had not advanced much when suddenly he crosses paths with Mr. and Mr. Sands, who offended him and screaming. Bert just repeats these words. "It's murder outside. It's murder outside." The Sands, seeing the incoherence of the men, prefer to follow his path, and Bert makes the truck walk again. Bert's in the city limits, and suddenly Mr. Kid appears shouting and beckoning Bert. Bert stops the truck when Mr. Kid approaches to the window of the truck, and he says, "Mr. Hope, I'm glad to see you. I need your help. I'm hiding from two murders. I really don't know why you're looking for me, but I need to get away from the city. Could you take me to the closest town?" Bert just said, "Of course, Mr. Kid. It's murder outside." Mr. Kid gets on the truck, and Bert starts the truck. Much of the journey, Mr. Kid doesn't stop talking. Bert, without looking at him once, continues his way, humming the same song in a low voice. Bert and Mr. Kid arrive to the frozen mountains. Bert says to Mr. Kid, "I'm going to stop for a moment in a quiet place to rest, and you can tell me everything, Mr. Kid." Mr. Kid nods and says, "Yes, yes." Bert stops the truck near a cliff. There is nobody around, and the night seems to be much darker now. Bert begins to say, "You brought me safe, honey, and I took care of you a long time already. It's time to move on without you." Mr. Kid, he doesn't understand these words, and he just stares at the landscape. Bert gets off the truck, while Mr. Kid looks at him. Bert walks behind the truck. He sighs and then starts to push the truck into the ravine. Mr. Kid notices that the truck is moving, but he can't open the door. A few more steps and the truck falls into the ravine. Bert remains looking at the dark horizon with a quick breathing. After a few minutes, he collapses in the snow, falls to the ground and starts crying for his beloved, his truck. A blizzard rises from the cliff, and we lost Bert in the snow and the darkness of the night.